What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how I made the bass sound from this song, It's All Beautiful, from my new album Airs, which is out July 22nd. I'm going to show you a little bit of it, and then we'll get right into it. Alright, so that gives you a little bit of a taste of how it sounds. So in this tutorial, it's going to be a little bit different than I've done in the past. I'm not going to be showing you how to move each individual knob to make the sound in massive, which I normally do, but I want to take a different approach with this one because I find that if you are just focusing on how to move knobs, you're not really going to learn the software. You know, if you just spent time on your own figuring out how to do it, you're going to get a lot more out of it. So I'm going to be showing you mostly on this how I'm adding effects after I'm putting the patches in. So for this bass, I have two channels, which this one has one instance of massive, and this one has an instance of massive and an instance of Sylenth. So I'll be showing you the first one. So it's the deeper bass, and then the second one is the high elements. So first I'll show you the deep one. So that one also has some overtones that are adding some grit to it, and I love this amp plugin that's built into Ableton. Your DAW might have a similar one, or you have a third-party distortion plugin that you can find, and it adds so much good texture to this, and so it's adding a lot of upper harmonics and some presence, and it just really, it's so crunchy, and it adds a lot of bite to the sound that just the synth by itself isn't gonna give that sound. So I'll actually take all the effects that I have on here off, so you can just hear what I have with just the patches themselves. So just a second here, and we'll play that again. So I had some pretty good source material to start with. So that's a big part of getting good sounds, is to find a patch or make a patch that sounds good to begin with. And then you can start to add effects in over the top of it and really get the sound that you want out of it. So I have a compressor on the first one here, and then sausage fattener, which is compression, some different dynamics things that they've built into it. It's kind of hard to know exactly what it's doing because there's only two knobs on it and a gain control. So you know it's some kind of multi-band compression going on behind the scenes here. And then I have another compressor which is a side chain, and then the amp plugin, and two more compressors over both of the patches combined. So you know, I'm not going to go through piece by piece, but I just hope that this inspires you a little bit, just to kind of look at this and see, okay, these things put together makes this kind of a sound. And then second piece, I'm going to show you what that sounds like by itself. And then without effects. So that one I actually just kind of drummed up, just did a new sound and then just kind of figured something out, and that's what I got. And then loaded up Alloy here, and that's doing some EQing and a little bit of compression. Compression can really pull stuff out of a sound that you didn't know was there, and so I use that a lot. And people say different things about when to use compression, when don't, and you know, if it sounds good, if it's still punchy, use what you have. So I have that, and then I have the sausage fattener on that. Love that plugin so much. And then another compressor over that, and another one. And then I have a ping pong delay, and so that's adding a little bit of a space to the sound. And then I have a EQ8, which I think is doing something. You know what? Actually, that is off, so that can be deleted. And sometimes when I'm working, I will just kind of get in a mode and put stuff together and then disable it or something and not really realize that it was still there. Sometimes I'll have channels that are just empty because I just kind of in a moment going really inspired in a moment, and then I have to kind of clean up my messes. So there can be sometimes stuff floating around that doesn't really have a purpose, and you're like, what is that doing? So it's all about that. And maybe this is one of those cases too where I have these two compressors here, and why did I do that? I'm not sure. And so that's just kind of how it is sometimes, and you have to, in a way, tear it apart after you're done making it, which is kind of what I'm doing here. Is when I was building this sound, I wasn't really um, systematically going through and saying, okay, what do I want it to sound like? I was just kind of having fun. And that's how you can do it sometimes. Sometimes you already know what you want it to sound like, and you do go systematically. But this time I didn't do that, and it's just kind of how you are as a producer. If you're more inspired by just kind of playing, and then putting things together, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, then you kind of can step back and say, okay, how is this going to be better? Is this too compressed? Is it not dynamic enough? Is it is the sound muddy? Okay, let's EQ it. So that's a whole nother mixing phase that you can do after you're done, making your magic. So then I also have a saturator on this, which is giving it more drive, and EQ just to kind of clean it up a little bit after that. So I'll just play this one more time so you guys can just hear it. And then please leave me comments on what you think about this. And if you like me talking about things like this more than this straight up patch creation tutorials, let me know. And subscribe, guys. Thanks a lot.